What's up, people? Joe Winko here, and what I'm going to be talking about in this episode is, well, I'm pretty sure everyone heard about it now. It's been on the news a lot, and it's the crime that happened in Wisconsin. Yeah, out of all places, in Wisconsin. These two 12-year-old girls, these two crazy 12-year-old girls, I should say, they've been arrested for attempted murder because they read the Slenderman story online, and apparently on the creepypasta site, it said that they have to join the reign of Slenderman, they have to kill someone. So they invited their friend over for a sleepover, and what happened was they invited her over for a sleepover, and they were originally going to stab her to death in the bedroom, but instead they lured her outside in the woods to play hide and seek, and then they grabbed her and started stabbing her to death. And then they left her to die there, but she crawled away. A biker found her body found her, she was still alive, on the side of the road, so he called 911 and they took her to the hospital, and she's still alive now. I think I actually read that she was released from the hospital, and they said that she was only a millimeter away from stabbing one of her major arteries and her bleeding to death. They arrested the two 12-year-old girls. Now they're in jail, and they're trying them as adults, and they could get 65 years in prison. And I just think it's crazy that 12-year-old girls were that psycho to try to stab someone just because of something they read on the internet. But to be honest, what really aggravates me and makes me mad is that everyone's blaming the Slenderman story for this. No, it's not the Slenderman story's fault. It's these 12-year-old girls. They obviously didn't like that girl at all. That's why they tried stabbing her to death. And they're just trying to say that, oh, we read it on the Slenderman, we have to kill someone to join the realm of Slenderman. It's so stupid. It's not art's fault, it's the crazy people's fault. And this makes me mad because I recently graduated high school, but at my high school, during my art class, I wanted to draw a picture of Jason Voorhees. And now, you guys know who Jason Voorhees is, I just made a movie about him. I just wanted to draw a poster of Jason Voorhees, but I wasn't allowed to. Now, not because, I would have understood it if they didn't want me to draw Jason Voorhees because it's not my own creation. If they said that I had to draw something original, yeah, I would have respected that and I would have understood it. But this is what I don't respect. They didn't want me to draw Jason Voorhees holding a machete because it would cause people to freak out, mass hysteria, and at my high school, the youngest person in my art class was 14 years old. So I'm pretty sure all of them already know who Jason is, because I talk about horror movies all the time, and they don't even like it when I talk about horror movies, because they think I'm promoting violence. Like, in my videos on YouTube, some people even type in, it was a few months back, there's this one guy from this social networking site, I asked him to like my fan page, and he says that my fan page was promoting evil and violence. It does not promote evil and violence. Now, yeah, people die in all my videos and get murdered in all my videos, but it's all fake, it's all animated. The sim people in the videos, they don't even die in the game. They really don't. I just put blood and makeup on them and use animation boxes. But it's just stupid that people are blaming it on the art and everything. That's not what inspires killers. That's not what causes shootings. I never seen a slasher movie about a guy standing in a school and shooting up everyone. They didn't blame that on slasher movies. Those people are just crazy. That's what causes it. Crazy people. It's not the horror movies or anything. And that just made me really mad when they said I wasn't allowed to draw a picture of Jason. And when I was discussing the new plot of my next movie, I'm making a new movie with The Sims 2 called Slice and Stab. It's about, it's about me, but I'm going to talk in third person now. It's about this boy who makes videos for YouTube and slasher horror movies for YouTube. And his sister gets stabbed to death in her bedroom, and they don't know who did it. But then the police force him to confess, and then he gets released because they forced him to confess, and then the real killer's on the loose, and he has to figure out who it is because the killer's coming after him next. But well, I'll get to that later. And when I typed up the script in my English class. Just typed it up, and the teacher read it. She was fine. She liked it. But when I tried talking about it during art, because I wanted to draw a poster of it, they got mad and saying, no, don't talk about that, because 2 12-year-old girls were just arrested for stabbing their friend to death after reading the Slenderman story, and you're just promoting violence. So it's my fault that 2 psycho bitches stabbed up their friend? What the hell? Alright, so I forgot what else I was gonna say. I don't really know. I was just saying that it wasn't fair that I wasn't allowed to talk about slasher movies at all. If it was like a bunch of little kids in my class, I'd understand, but they're all 14, 15, 16. Not adults, but close enough. Close enough to understand that horror movies are just horror movies. Especially like slasher movies. Now, it'd be different if it was like no, it wouldn't be different. But especially slasher movies, it doesn't matter what kind. I mean, you should be allowed to talk about slasher movies, and you shouldn't blame slasher movies for all the violence that happens. Because there was violence going on way before slasher movies existed. World War II, the Civil Wars, people getting shot up, people getting stabbed up, people getting sexually assaulted. That all went on way before horror movies. So don't even blame that at all. And plus there was another story I read online, this one 13-year-old girl, she was into all that dark horror movie stuff. She went insane one night and put on a mask and tried to stab and kill her mother. I know, it's absolutely psycho. But they said it was because of stuff she was reading online that inspired her to do that. Well, okay, so she may have got the idea of how to kill her mother online, but blaming it all, it's obviously she hated her mother for some reason, or did not like her mother, or wanted her dead for some reason, but that was not because of what she was reading online. I am 100% sure it isn't. If she, let's just say she didn't read any of that stuff online, she wouldn't have then she wouldn't have put on a mask and a knife. She would have just got a gun and shot her or tried strangling her to death. It's not gonna, she was a violent person. There's nothing that causes that. Well, there probably is something, but it's definitely not from stuff you read online. It's stupid. So that's just what I wanted to vent out. That it's stupid that people blame like slasher, like that horror movie media for all this violence going on, because it's really not the horror genre, horror products. I don't know what word to use to describe the horror movie stuff, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's not its fault at all. And my videos are not promoting violence. Because, yeah, a whole bunch of people, like in the Knife series, a whole bunch of people, the killers are always killing people in the Knife series, but in every single one, the killer always gets killed or never gets away with it at all. No killer in the Knife series has ever gotten away with murdering someone. And I can't really say that about all my videos, because sometimes some of them end bad, and some people don't escape, but only in a handful. But, yeah, that's basically it. And I have a link to those news articles in the description, just in case you haven't read them yet. But in other news, I went to this one video game store. They sell all this old gaming gear. It's pretty awesome. I got these 2 new games. Teen Titans and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I always wanted to play this one, but I had it for PC, because I couldn't find it because the PS2 version was too expensive back then when it first came out in 2004. Christ, I feel old now. But when it first came out in 2004, but now I have it, but I still haven't played it yet because I've been too busy hooked on this game. Yeah, I cannot stop playing this. Teen Titans. I didn't think it was going to be good at all. I spent $13 on it. but it was totally worth it because it's so much fun. It's basically, you get to play as any of the characters. You can switch off, like, while you're playing. And you all run around together and you fight all the villains and everything. I mean, I should upload some gameplay footage of this. It's pretty awesome. And this one, too, once I get to it. This one was only $5, though. I got it for GameCube, but I really should have got it for PlayStation 2, but I couldn't find it for PlayStation 2 anywhere. So, yeah, it's good enough. So, that's basically... Oh, yeah! And, thanks so much to everyone who helped with Friday the 13th. I have it posted now. It's, I'm not gonna... If you haven't seen it yet, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I tried keeping it as simple as possible. Because I didn't want it to be, like, an hour long, like the rest of my videos, like how they were, like, over an hour long. So this one's only 30 minutes long. I cut some parts out. Probably did more harm than good, but it's alright. But it still has those Friday the 13th elements in it, and that noise. And, it's a little different from Friday the 13th, because in the typical Friday the 13th movie, how the people get murdered is, one person goes off alone, like a group of kids camping at Camp Crystal Lake, one kid goes off alone, Jason finds them and kills them, one kid goes off alone, Jason finds them next and kills them, two people go off alone, two, like, lovers, they start having sex, Jason comes in and kills them, but, this one's different. It does have some of that, like a person going off alone, but, it's more like, okay, these kids are together, all of a sudden Jason ambushes all of them, because it makes Jason seem more powerful and everything, and, I use some music from Resident Evil 2, because, and I don't know if you guys played Resident Evil 2, but there's a monster, a tyrant monster, Mr. X, I think that's what his name is. Every time he'll randomly ambush you and he'll start coming towards you, he always, and there's this creepy music that plays when he comes towards you, that always makes me think of Jason Voorhees for some reason, so, yeah, that's why I used that. And, that's basically it for this episode. So, don't forget to like my fan page on Facebook. Don't forget to comment this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm serious, people. Do not forget to like my fan page on Facebook, because I'm really excited right now, because my goal is 700 likes, and I'm really close right now. I have I think, how many likes do I have? I think I have 692 right now. But, I'm getting close. So, yeah, don't forget to do that. And that's it. So, peace out, people.
Someone who can love you, someone who will need you, someone who